Hello, guys. If you are in the chat with me, good morning to you. Good night, depending where you are. I'm making sure that I'm seeing everything. And then I'll start painting some metal armor with you guys. I want to say hi to everybody on Instagram showing up at RussV. Figus6840 56 2 ism. Yo, how you doing? Hello. We are just getting started. I want to say hi to Art by SRB. How you doing? Rebecca, how you doing? Thanks for joining me live, guys. I'll be painting some metal armor today for everybody on Instagram. These are my reference pictures that I'll be doing. Hi Gary, how you doing? For all of you guys that are participating into the DD5 challenge, this is your cue if you want to join me to paint today. We're going to paint metal armor. I want to say hi to Armando, Sanctuary Child, Morocco. Amazing. Must be in the morning or at night. Middle of the night in Morocco? What time is it in Morocco? It's gotta be real early. In Brazil, probably a little bit late. Saudi Arabia, I'm assuming also it's super early, middle of the night probably. Welcome everybody. Nata, how you doing? Thanks for joining me live. So yeah, today we're going to paint some metal armors. 3 a.m., huh? Yeah, that's what I thought. 3 a.m., that's early. Thanks for being here. All right, let's get cracking, shall we? Howdy, John. How you doing? Welcome back. 5:62, 7 p.m. here in Arizona. Oh yeah, that's a good time. That's a good time. I think these lives are coming at the right time for you, actually. Reminder that I'm both on Instagram and on Facebook. You can choose the platform that you prefer. It's pleasant on both ways. It's easier for me to see the chat though on YouTube. So if I miss your comments on Instagram, you can join us on YouTube if you want. Sharon, Danielle, hi guys. Good morning, good night, good afternoon. Yeah, let's get cracking. So, I think I'm gonna have a little bit less time today for this live. I might keep it to an hour, but I would love to paint something fully, so let's get cracking. I'm gonna try this helmet thingy here. And what's cool with these helmets is if you're not doing like a portrait, then the shapes don't have to be perfectly, like, you don't have to make 100% sense. So like it's a helmet, I can probably kind of create my own sort of shape from it. Sorry for Instagram, I'm always too much on the side. And I might put the reference for you guys, so you guys can see it a little bit. Put that in the corner here. Question, Sharon. Are there any other YouTube live I'm missing rather than Wednesday? I mean, not only on Wednesday. I'm doing only Wednesday right now. That's all the time that I have. But I'm trying to also think about different ways I can do these lives. I might think about the team and I were thinking about making some homework for you guys, so you get involved even more. Like we had a few months ago, we were sharing the brief from the portfolio builder. Now they are exclusive to the DPA, but we thought that we could actually start now making some homework, so the entire community could join together. And if I do this, I might start making some paintovers for you guys. It's not a promise now, but I strongly think about it, so that's why I'm sharing that today. Hopefully I'll be able to do it. I'll keep you all very much informed as I take my decision within the next few weeks. But for now, if you're here on Wednesday with me, then you got it all. You got it all. Joma, how you doing? Hello, Mr. Paintable. How are you doing today? You know what? I'm doing good. Mr. Paintable, I like it. Kazal, how am I doing? I'm doing great, man. Thanks. Just wanted to make sure. Yeah, no, you're welcome, Sharon. You're welcome. So yeah, let's paint some metal. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably see that I already painted a few metal. There was a few metal posts, especially the 1 week character challenge that we had a few months ago, because I was doing an armor. And it's always fun to paint metal. It's a little complicated sometimes, but I think this helmet is just a great starter, really. I don't think it's gonna be too complicated. Jesus, that music is cheesy, my friend. I feel like I'm in an elevator. Alright, I'm gonna go to my playlists. Give me a second. This is not working for me. That's much better. Alright. Lion Rise. Looking forward to this amazing session. Thank you, my friend. Looking forward to. Yeah. I'm inviting you guys to, to try the same thing with me. If you want to take a screenshot of the reference, if you want to do this one with me, go. I'll give you 5 seconds for it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Yeah. Hey, John. Welcome to YouTube. Yeah, exactly. You can see the reference a lot easier on YouTube. For everybody on Instagram, if you want to see the bigger reference, I have it in the corner. I'm also bigger if you want to see my face more. And you can see the chat better. I don't know. I think YouTube is better for lives. But if you want to stay on Instagram, no problemo. I'm also keeping my eyes on the chat so I can talk with you guys. So yeah, I was talking about what we're thinking about doing is a few homework. We actually want to give them to the DPA as well. And what I'll do is I might start doing some paintovers to get you guys involved a little bit more. So yeah. And let's paint that. All right. There's something fun about a helmet, you know? Like, to me, it feels like, I don't know, you cannot mess it up. It's like, you do the basic shape and it's kind of a weird shape there. It looks like like that. All right. All right. I think that's going to be a good starter. I'm going to make a quick study with this one. And here we go. Let's put some blue sky. A little bit more pale. A little bit more blue, a little bit more desaturated. That's not it. That's better. I want to say hi to Roselyn. Welcome to YouTube. Welcome to the live. So yeah. You guys can let me know if you have any questions. About anything really art related. You can start a discussion. Anything at all. But probably I could find a topic to get the ball started. Sorry, my brain is dead. So, how many of you guys that are right here with me that are painting on a regular basis, tell me, what is your goal as an artist? Is it to become a professional artist? Is it to just have some fun and let go of the stress by doing art? Is it because you want to just get better for personal interest? Is it because you want to do an art show? What are your goals in the future, close future? Like, what are your aspirations? Because clearly, if you're here with me, you do love art, and I'm sure you practice it and like it. I got some answer coming in on Instagram. Red Chaos. Professional, but I always have problem with construction, and I ended up copying a base pose. When you mean construction, you mean like coming up with the base of your illustration, I'm assuming? You see copying the base pose. There's a lot of copying at the beginning of an art journey. I don't think there's anything wrong with this. Just as much as you know that, for as long as you know that it is copying and then it is kind of a stepping stone, I don't think there's an issue with that. You just have to continue pushing until you have enough in your memory to be able to do it eventually from either imagination or being able to, play with the references. Yeah. Sharon, you say recently I'm drawing traditionally, meaning with watercolor and a bit done as well, so I'm not painting that much as I want, but I wish I could sell my art, right? It seems like, I think it'd be nice. I think there's a lot of artists like this. It's like, there's no pressure to become a professional artist yet, but it'd be nice to make money out of it. So yeah, I think a lot of people can relate to this one. John, learning to paint to have a unique background for my animation. Yeah, that's a valid reason. Having more skills, more knowledge, understanding a little bit more the environment in which you're working with. Not, I want to sell my original art, not to just commission, right? I think that's a true artist soul, right? I'm the same as you, and I'm having a hard time with it as well, because you know what? It takes time to build an art show or a collection. It's You have to dedicate a lot of hours to be able to do this. Rebecca, I draw every day and I want to offer more as a book cover and comic book artist. Right now, I use photo bashing and Daz, but I want them to look better. Also, I love to learn. Yeah, right? Passion for learning. And yeah, I saw your portfolio, Rebecca, when you joined IFI. And I think you have a good base, you know, with the skill that you're going to learn in illustration for imagination now, you'll be able to, I think, to close the gap into pushing your photo bashing a little bit more. Sharon, you're saying, I had passion when I was younger and I thought I was the only one painting that good. Silly me, but I'm feeling as there are a lot of good artists and I can compete. You know what? I think it's oh, there's an automation there. Please disregard the 75% off, and Ray, if you're there, please remove that. 75% off was last month. Sorry guys. That is invalid. Can I delete that? Sorry. Yes, let's remove it. There we go. Sorry for the misleading message. Let me just make a note so I remember that later on. I placed this automation to help you guys to download the brushes and join the community, but I forgot that there was a sale, and sale is over. We have to remove this. Give me just 1 second. All right. What was I saying before that? Good artists can compete. Yeah. So the feeling of competing with other artists, you know, it's a crippling feeling, and I know because I also feel it. But I think it's the wrong approach, and I speak to me as much as I speak to anybody else that think this way. It's not about competing. It's about finding your style, your niche, your uniqueness, kind of thing. And that takes quite a bit of time, quite a bit of practice. But the more you do, the closer you get from a style that represents you, and then that people can recognize you with, and eventually gets you where you want to be as an artist. Like the idea that all artists are competing for the same eyes or the same, you know, clients is not true. There is so many different styles, and I say that to usually a lot of my students, like, you don't have to be the best artist to find work. You don't have to be the best artist to find fans. You only have to have like a unique style, which most people have, to be honest. Like, I know that's one of the questions that everybody's always like, how do I find my style? Well, you find your style by not looking for it. Just painting as much as possible. DD5 helps with this. And eventually you'll develop a style by the sheer amount of work that you're doing. And then once you have your style, people will recognize you from it and will follow you. But what works even better than having a style, and that's something that is not thought anywhere else, is about storytelling. Telling your story, your unique story, your story of how you fell in love with art and how you wish to share your passion with the world. This is truly what marks the mind of people that will follow you. And it's something that I paid a lot of attention in my work, is communicating your passions, essentially, if that makes sense. I'm on time, feels unreal. Hey, Bitterbun, welcome to YouTube. Sharon, I get you, it's all true, and I know that, but I hadn't found my style, and I'm not young anymore. The pressure of time, I also can relate. Turning 42 myself. And I started this journey of art when I was 30. So it's a few years, but all that to say that I was not the youngest, doing this. And yeah, it can be overwhelming to have to face all these young kids getting really good, and everybody has their own journey and their own pace. And I think it's as much as you need to work on your art and your skills, you need to also work on your mental health and help you with understanding that it's not about competition, it's not about being the first, it's not about being the best. It's about having your own journey and really focusing on it. And usually when you don't feel good, and I speak to myself when I say that, when you don't feel good about your art, you're the only one judging it and suffering from it. So it's about learning to not do that. And it takes practice, it takes time. It takes people like me to remind it to you, I guess. And as I remind it to you, I remind it to myself. Alan, I'm learning painting in general to get outside of my comfort zone, since my art style is usually a very simple cartoony. My illustration are usually flat color, and that's also fine, but pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, that's a great thing that we should all do from time to time. Let's see. Rebecca, and there's a heart on. There's a let me see if I can move the chat and make it larger so I can see everything. There we go. No, yeah, all right, there we go. That's all right. That's better, I think. Can I scroll down? Okay, now that's not better. I cannot see you no more. All right, sorry guys. Technical stuff. Where can I put this? Maybe I can put it still there, but can I see everything now? That's so weird. Sorry guys. Trying to understand the computer here. There we go. That's too small now. Damn it. Sorry guys, you don't see what I'm doing, but I'm trying to place the chat in a way that allows me to see everything. And now it won't allow me to. You know what, maybe I can take this out. And have it somewhere else. All right. Oh, Jesus. All right, sorry guys. It's gonna take a second. that's fine now. All right, Rebecca. I will be 55 this October. Yeah, well, you know what? Age is a number. That's what I keep telling me. Age is a number. So yeah. Let's keep pushing this. Alright, now I don't see. Jesus, I'm having a hard time today. Why I cannot have these things on the side no more? Oh, there we go. Almost there. There we go. That's much better. All right, I'm seeing everything now. Okay, let's get back to that helmet, shall we? All right, I'm taking my sweet time here. I'll try to speed that up. So I'm trying to like block in the big shapes that I'm seeing. It's like a gray. Yeah, it's like a gray color here on the side. You know, the thing is with metal is it reflects its environment. And so to paint metal, what helps me is to really just shut down my brain and just try to paint exactly what I'm seeing into like blurbs of colors, no detail. So that's what I'm trying to do here. And trying to use the selective tool to kind of create the shapes that are needed, like this. Ellen, I've been trying to render different metal lately, and it's honestly so hard for me. I wonder how you'll render that one. Well, I absolutely want to show you that as well. And hopefully I'll be able to demystify it, because depending on what you're painting, there's recipes you can follow, but also like sometimes it's just like a question of like putting like it already kind of looks like metallic right now, and I'm still going to add a lot of love to this, but like it doesn't have to be like crazy detail. Tear gum, do you actually only take 5 minutes? No, I don't. So the story behind the name, the Daily 5, is that there's many ways to participate to the challenge. You can do a quick sketch, take 5 minutes of your day, and do a quick sketch. It takes you 5 minutes, and it gives you the momentum and the boost of being able to tell yourself, hey, you know what, I took the time today to do some art. And if you do that every day, you're going to start seeing momentum. But the idea is that as you do this and you have more time and you get better and you get more relaxed and you find yourself a habit of actually taking the time to sit down, which is the most important thing, you'll be able to add 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And the idea is to try to keep it between 5 and 30 minutes for the people that have like busy lives. 30 minutes a day is already a lot of time. to be able to push your skills. And then if you're able to have more time from time to time, you can push the daily 5 to 30 plus minutes. So this is why the name is called the Daily 5 Challenge. Question Sharon, I'm sorry for the drilling, but I need to repeat the instruction in my brain. So for painting, you firstly use the hard brush, first level? Yes, I use the hard edge brush first. And right now I'm using the soft brush to kind of add the basic colors. And later on I'm going to go back with the hard edge brush to add details. Like right now I'm stopping myself from adding details. Like otherwise I would start adding details. And that's something that, you know, we all do. We go into details too fast. Right now, I'm really forcing myself to only add kind of the basic colors, and then I'm going to add some more details and some more love to it. Just trying to do things in steps, so I don't get lost. It's something that I absolutely like, swear by, and this is the way I teach in the Illustration from Imagination program. It's workflow. You need to have a solid workflow to be able to trust the process, kind of thing. Like right now it doesn't look like much, but I know I'll get there because I have a process. And so yeah. And I think I'm at that point. I'm gonna start adding a little bit more details, a little bit more hard edges on stuff. That's the eraser I have, yeah. Thank you, Mohammed. Says amazing. I appreciate it. It's not amazing yet, but we're gonna push it. We're gonna push it. We're gonna push it more. So yeah. At this point, I'm just kind of like, oops. When they start having lyrics, it takes my concentration. All right. Yeah, it's about adding just enough detail that it looks like I'm spending a lot of time on it, but I'm not. I'm using brushes from the D5 right now, so if you want them, you can download them. There's 2 ways you can do it. There's probably in the description of the video on YouTube, or if you're on YouTube while I'm live, you can always do !D5, and that will bring you to the official D5 page, the D5 challenge page, where you'll be able to download the brushes and learn more about the challenge. KSS. Let's add some green. There's like a pale green here. A little bit. And it's kind of darkish around it. And I'm seeing kind of like reflections here. They're quite pale actually, those reflections. And I don't want to go too much in detail right away. I'm adding a little bit of detail right now, but I also don't want to lose myself into it because I want to add the details on top of the line work. Right now I'm still under my line work, for those that were wondering. And to add the final touches of realism for this painting, I'll definitely need to be on top of the line art. So there's that. Question, Nata, do you ever color pick from the background when painting metal? No, I'm not. When I started doing, paintings, I used to do it. And then what I realized is it was not helping me to understand colors. So I stopped doing it. And then what I realized when I stopped doing it is that you cannot paint something close to the references that you have if you're doing color picking. The reason is there's a bunch of colors that, like, it's a pixel image, and you're gonna pick a color, you're gonna think it's the right color because you're picking on it, and then it's gonna pick a weird pixel, and you're gonna paint that on your painting, and it's gonna look completely different. So it's about seeing what you can see, and kind of know color theory enough that you can play with the colors and have control over them. I do teach about color theory in the DPA if you're interested. I have a whole module about it. I'm really taking my time here. I don't want to go too fast and add details that I'll regret later. So yeah, if you are again on Instagram and you would like to see the reference picture, come join me on YouTube. It's going to be much easier for you to see the reference that I'm using for this. Alan, I went to grab myself a cup of coffee, and when I went back, you're already almost finished. Jeez. Well, I'm not almost finished, but yeah, when you start adding like small details, and it makes a huge difference. And that's the magic of painting these, like, I would say not complex metal shapes, because these are all kind of roundish. It looks complicated, but I don't have much trouble with these. They're so like, there's cylinders and spheres and cubes. It's easy to kind of imagine like all these reflection. Well, not easy, but once you have the reference, it's like, okay, I'm looking at this reference for people on Instagram, and you can tell that, all right, it's facing like some greenery. There's probably a pathway. There's clearly someone that's wearing red, and it's like on it. There's a building here that seems to have like a white background or something with a white background, that, and you know that these are all reflections. And here you have a tree and another tree and then you just kind of paint some patches and it kind of looks good. It's not that complicated. It gets complicated when you do it from imagination with like reference pictures that are not telling you exactly how to do this. Then it gets real complicated. Right now I'm just trying to see how much more details I want to put on this kind of phase before I get into on top of the lines and add some real details. I might start adding that red tone. There's a bit here. It's also like mixing the hues that you see and a bit of red here. Now I'm going into like just adding a little bit more diversities in those shapes, pushing a little bit what I'm seeing. There's a grain that I missed here that could be added. I feel like it's more desaturated, darker maybe, yeah. Because my shape design is not exactly the same. I did it on purpose, but now I'm trying to add these imperfections. John, do you work your way from shadow to light? Usually I do, but for reflection from metal, it's a little different. Like, I could have started and kind of rounded it up with some basic shadows and everything, and it would definitely help with the form, but it's so much like a shiny reflection that like you don't see the shadows and light the same way. You see specular highlights, which are like these white spots that you see, and then you see a lot of reflection of the environment that is in the shadow. Jeeb looks great. I haven't tried rendering metal yet. Drawing reflection is intimidating. Yeah, it is. But if you take a helmet, seriously, I think a helmet is the perfect way to start with. It's just a rounded shape, and then you can break down the different parts, and it helps a lot. Shane, hands now does scare me. Yeah, also, that's one of these anatomy things that takes forever to learn. Yeah, I love this, guys. We should have a hands club. Want to say hi to Redamone. Alright, I feel like I pushed what I needed from this stage. I'm going to start painting on top of the lines for kind of the last details, and for that I'm going to get closer, and I'm going to try to just be more precise with these lines. Try to take out the lines at the same time. Sorry, I got concentrated for a minute. I forgot that I was on live. Happens every week. Yeah, please disregard the 75 again. That's automations for the people on YouTube. That's kind of misleading. Let's remove this. So yeah. Whoopsie. Trying to push the metal a little bit more. Trying to add some imperfections. Just kind of final touches at a few places. But yeah, that conversation got me thinking, what is the hardest thing for you to paint right now? Lots of you guys were saying hands. Which is definitely one of the hardest things even for me. Painting hands, it's just such a complex thing. It goes in all sorts of direction. You have to put the perspective on it, the anatomy and all. It's just something that requires constant working. I think if I were to do probably hands for an entire month, every day, I would still feel like I need to spend more time on it. But I'm trying to learn these days of how to break down shapes into more simplistic geometric shapes to really kind of help me understand the perspective of things. I feel like you put too much attention on anatomy and not enough on perspective. And perspective is one of those skills that will help you paint from imagination with a lot more ease and understand things that are very complicated like hands, to break them down into manageable pieces. Nata, you said, just glad my face are pretty good now. That's great. Faces are fun also to paint. Painting something with two light source, say John. Yeah. Lighting theory is also a very important skill to understand to paint from imagination. Something that I teach both in illustration for imagination and the DPA. A little bit more in illustration for imagination though, as we're painting from imagination in there. Sharon, hair, hands, for me is being honest, I'm struggling with all the rendering. We have great classes in the DPA, Sharon. I don't know if you're already in the DPA, but you'll have a very extensive class of multiple modules that I created to help you with this. It's one of the best class that I ever created. It goes into so much depth. It teaches you how to not only paint from observation, but gives you tricks to paint from imagination as well, if you're interested. Outfit are also hard for me, meaning costume, expression. You're naming a lot of things that are in the DPA, I'm hoping you're in there, because there's a lot of module that can help you there. Cheap, you see, I guess for me it's the time I spend on fixing my portrait proportion. The end result will be good, but the time spent to get to that point, tweaking and fixing, I guess that takes some more time. Yes, which speaks to your workflow, my friend. A good workflow is you still have to work on all these things, all these details that you have to, to learn, anatomy and whatnot for portraiture. But a good workflow will 100% help you with time. The back and forth, usually it's because if you don't fix certain things at the beginning of your portrait, you'll end up having to fix it all at the end. So I'm inviting you to either check my YouTube videos, because there's a few videos that can help you there, or join the DPA. Both of them you'll find classes to help you with workflow and understanding like the basic steps needed for portraiture in particular, because I love portraiture, so I did quite a bit of those. I know there's one particular on YouTube. I know in the DPA there is as well, but on YouTube I did one for you to check now if you want, where I teach how to sketch with a few master painter methods that will help you. If you want to go check that out afterwards, don't leave me now. but after the live, definitely go check it out. Bit of fun. Painting from imagination is the bane of my existence. Just anything from imagination that is hardest for me. Again, painting from imagination, it's a question of like having a good workflow. So having like your repairs, knowing how to transform reference pictures into these imaginary things. Because there's very few people, we have few artists out there that paint from imagination without reference. You have to know that. Sometimes it's about knowing how to work with these references that will help you get to the next level, really. That looks pretty good. I think I'm missing some paler values here though. Like this, more saturated. Shane, your reflection are great. Reminds me of airbrush. It's so smooth. Thanks, man. I never tried airbrush, but people that are good at airbrush, they're like wizards to me. Wizards. That's insane. But yeah, with digital medium, it's a cool thing. You can literally like kind of mimic any kind of real medium or traditional medium, should I say. Digital painting is a real medium. It's just not traditional. Yeah, you know, the soft brush can all do these things. That looks like can sprayed airbrushy looks. Sharon, are we hearing a baby there behind you? That's possible, yes. I got my son, maybe he just woke up from his nap. Sharon, can I ask, how did you create the effect of the upper side of the helmet between the blues glowing kind? Upper sides. Well, I'm hoping that you were there the entire time, that you already saw this. I'm gonna have to invite you to watch the replay after. I'm gonna try to finish this one for now. But a lot of soft brush, if I were to just answer it like this. A lot of soft brush, yeah. And then adding details slowly. I can probably like go back a few steps, like, oops, took out the lines. You know, just taking your time, really. I think I'm pretty much already done though. This is supposed to be like just a quick study. I feel like when I'm doing these live sessions, I spend more time on my paintings, because it's tough to talk and paint and stay in the rhythm of your painting. Truly, it's a skill that I haven't mastered completely. I'm going to try to add just a few small details, like this whatever thing here and that thingy there, and I'm gonna add some shadows at the right places and highlights at the right places, and I think I'm gonna call it a day for this one. And I might do, maybe I'll have a time for another quick sketch after this. Yeah, all right. I think that's good for now. What do you guys think? Right? It's reflective enough. One last thing I could do, sometimes, just to help, but take a color dodge, try a few reflective color, like a little bit of blue maybe at the top. I could try the green and some of the green places to see if it's adding like some cool colors, but it might not be needed. Yeah, just I think the blue was good. Andy, do you hold your classes in a Discord room or a Zoom room? My classes, for the most part, are recorded. I do have some lives for the Digital Painting Academy, and I want to actually bring some more lives probably next month. I'm doing some changes from time to time in the DPA, but what we have that always stays is we have a very complete step-by-step learning path that teaches you everything from very beginner to painting an illustration from imagination completely. So that's what you get when you join. Then we have different sections. We have the deep dive library right now with a lot of one-off classes about hair, portraiture, character design. There's a ton of classes in there. There's the portfolio builder, where I show step-by-step on how I produce my own illustration. So you have a professional artist showing you how to paint an illustration from a professional brief to help you build your portfolio. And next month, don't hold me to this because I'm still working on it, but I want to share it because I'm excited. Next month, I want to start maybe doing some paint overs for the DPA students and giving some cool homeworks that are easier to do than the monthly project portfolio brief. Just give me a second. I gotta delete these 75%. I'm so sorry, guys. I forgot to take out the automation. I'm gonna do this afterwards. 75% was last month. So yeah, hopefully this is answering your question. Let me know if you have more. Sharon, question. I will watch again, but what is the difference between the hard and soft? I still didn't get, so sorry for being annoying. Oh, you're not annoying. Sorry, I didn't want to feel like you're annoying me. You're annoying me. I just, to be honest, I did so many steps here, I don't remember them all. I just know I did a lot of soft brush, which is the one that, let me show you. The soft brush is, it's this brush that you have, it's very soft, and then you have the hard edge brush, which is harder. And it's just having the control between those two. Thank God it's digital medium, so I can do this. Can you imagine? Jeeb, perfecto. Well, thank you. Shane, hard edges are just that soft edge blends into the existing color a bit because it isn't opaque 100% at the edge. Bingo, 100 points for Gryffindor. That's exactly that. Jeep, so you use color dodge to reflect colors on the environment. It's just a way to boost a little bit the colors, like I did a little bit here. It's not adding too much, but sometimes you can test a few different colors, especially with the darker colors, darker hues, and it's going to add something special to it. So I like to try it from time to time. Sharon, all good. I'm glad that you understand. But yeah, definitely watch the replay afterwards. You'll have like a step-by-step. Right now my colors are like a little bit more saturated than the reference picture, but I like it as is. I'm gonna call it a day for this one, and I'm gonna try to just do a quick, maybe I'm gonna keep it like I want to do a portrait, but maybe not for today. I think I'm going to do another armor, but I'm gonna try to do it in like super quick, so you guys can see how I would do it if I had a little bit of time only. Hope that sounds exciting to you. I'm gonna do I'm gonna do this one, right? Because it's an easier one. For the people on Instagram, I'm gonna do the top one. And I'm gonna try to keep it with a workflow that is extremely fast. Let's put the timer on this. I'm gonna give myself 15 minutes. So at mark 20. Here we go. The sketch is probably gonna be the place that's gonna take me the most time. And I guess that's what I wanna show you guys, is sometimes the blending doesn't have, especially for metal, like depending on the reference picture, the blending doesn't have to be like all amazing to look great. I'm going to just push this, push that. Push that. I'm not gonna overthink or play with like the proportion to be perfect. I'm just going to get myself a quick sketch to be able to start. I think that's good enough. I'm not gonna add the leather patches on it right away. I've got myself 15 minutes to do this one only. So quick background. Quick background. Blocking the color. This is going to be for you also, Sharon, if you want to see all the steps. I guess I'm going to repeat them all now. So blocking the color, I'm choosing a dark gray just to have my basic kind of shape. I could use the lasso tool to be even faster. Just do this. Fill it up. Correct this and that. Create another layer, making sure that it's linked on top of this. And I'm gonna try to just keep things with hard edge for now. Zooming out a little bit so I can see just the color and patches. You know what, I'm going to use a soft round brush for starter. Soft round brush. I'm looking at this. These are like very pale blue grays, I think. So I'm seeing like a kind of a patch here. I'm going to use a lasso tool to take this and kind of paint another patch there. There's some greens. Let's add those greens. So greens. You know what? Yeah, something like that. And then there's what seems to be almost like a dark gray red. And then you have some very dark greens at the bottom and on the side and a little bit there. And then you have the side. Maybe a reflection of the background here. You have this right there. Also seem to be almost like a darker beige. And so this is like the basic, we have all the basic colors here, right? Now what I can do is go on top of this and just be a little bit more loose about it. And there's kind of a touch there. I'm gonna add the yellow of the, whoops, make sure that's attached to it. Like the yellow parts here a little bit, just so we can distinguish. This is kind of like a pale green. Darker here. And kind of have some pale yellows here. And then I'm gonna just try to add some of the reflections. I'm painting in the direction of the metal. I'm not putting the lines just yet. I'm gonna treat those lines afterwards as being details instead. So right now I'm just looking at the patches, the colors. I'm not trying to be perfect or anything. Just, yeah, like there's like a pale green that kind of paints like that, sort of. And I feel like this needs to be darker further here. So let's push this. I'm gonna add the details of the leather afterwards. That could be a little more pale. This could be a little darker. There's kind of a reflection here. Let's put that in. Let's put that there. There's darker tones here. We'll put the details here. We have like some white stuff happening here and here, a little bit on the other side as well. There's some darker parts here. Again, for the people that just joined us, I'm trying to do this one with, I got another 8 minutes to finish it based on my challenge that I just give myself to torture myself in front of people. Nah, it's a good challenge to have. So I think I have like the colors patches here. I think I can go now on top of my lines and spend the rest of the time kind of just adding enough details that it's looking a little bit more pushed. So I'm seeing like a little bit of that squish here, and I can push that. And I'm not following exactly at this point the reference picture. I'm just kind of like doing an 80-20. Like I know there's some lines here of some sort. For the armor, these will have some reflection of light coming on top of them, like this. So that adds a little bit of details. We have a dark leather here with a shadow under it and some more pale light at the end with a bit of a hue change. Let's put that in. Put a dot rivet, and we have another kind of bar here. It's important to put the shadow, highlight and shadow, so it looks a little bit 3D. Even though I'm going fast and everything, I want to make sure to take my time here. I still have 6 minutes. 6 minutes to push that as much as possible. I'm going to use the same colors here to kind of add these real quick. Another one here, another one there. These could be darker because they are in the shadow. Maybe not that dark, but maybe that dark. We have some here. It's almost like more like I'm adding patches of just brown here. I'll be able to add some details afterwards maybe. Trying to add those tiny highlights on the reflection and corners are important. Now we have also the kind of lines here. And again, adding these reflections on these edges will help to make it feel like it's more of a details than just a line. And still 5 minutes. Pushing those a little. I might add some pieces of shadows. It seems to have rivets there, so adding a little bit of just reflections here and there. Shadow, reflection, rivets, shadow, reflection, rivets, and small details. Something like that. Sorry guys, Instagram, I don't think you were seeing. Let's push more light here. I think there's more reflection there. Maybe a little bit more reflection here as well. Maybe this gets darker. Pushing these reflection. Removing the line here. Maybe. There's kind of a reflection here. Definitely one there. I forgot there was a color. I could paint that color maybe. Shadow there. Something like that. Still 3 minutes. Maybe some more details here. I like these kind of time challenges though, because it really forces you to rely on a workflow and kind of let go of perfectionism and kind of be like, all right, so this is enough details for this is enough detail for that. Just push whatever is needed so you can fit in the time. And it's not going to be as pushed as the first helmet that I did, but I'll make a comparison with the two afterwards so you guys can see that. Like the first one took me an hour and this is going to take me 15 minutes. And I don't think it's going to be a ton of like difference between the two. Which software I'm using? 9eVenu. I'm using Photoshop. But the software doesn't matter. You'll be able to do this in pretty much any software. 2 minutes. I think I'm gonna just try to add some more. Just some more details and textures and whatnot. Love the texture, Inuk. Thanks. Thank you so much. I appreciate the comment. It's fun to paint with texture too. Something to it. Alright, only 1 minute left. I think I'm pretty done with this one. I think, yeah, time. All right. Here you go. That was 15 minutes. Let's compare it with my 1 hour helmet that I did just before it. What do you guys think? Right? You can tell that there's a little bit more time on the helmet, but you know, not that much. So if you're doing a metal study and you don't want to lose your time, you don't want to feel overwhelmed, you just want to try it. Hopefully this is a good example. You can spend 15 minutes on it and get the sketch, get the coloring, get some of the reflections. And it gives you a little bit of practice. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You know, that's the DD5. That's what the DD5 is all about. It's just about, are you on Twitch? I'm on YouTube, Enoch, right now. I'm on both platforms at the same time. Let me catch up with the chat in YouTube, actually. Andy, I've been thinking of joining your classes, but I don't know if I can manage time because I'll be going to CSU Fullerton. I'm assuming that's a university of some sort. First of all, congrats on going to university. That's huge. Classes are at your own pace in the DPA. You can join for a month, as much as you can join for a year. And if you join for a year, you're saving 3 months. 3 months that I give for free for people that are ready to commit for an entire year. And the classes in the DPA are built in a way that the videos are just 5 minutes long. So sometimes when you have just a little bit of time, the 85 style, you can just watch one video and it's going to help you. So there's that. But if that's not the right time for you, I totally understand. We'll be there when you have time. Shane, fast and good looking, the dream of every artist. Yeah, it's I'm happy with it. I think it looks great. And it's fun, you know, there's a reward of letting go of the stress and painting something that doesn't look perfect, but if you have a right workflow, you get to a point that it's the 80-20 kind of rule, you know, that's the 20% skills that gives 80% results. So you spend just a little bit amount of time, but it gives a lot of results because you have a workflow that you can follow, kind of thing. Thanks for the subscription, Chris. Oh, thanks for subscribing, Chris. That's awesome. Sharon, I get it now. I'm watching instead of drawing. I like a good students class. And I knew, by the way, it's also important to put the background first. Yes, it's something that I actually repeat a lot. If you don't start with the background, all your colors that are reflecting, especially for metal, all the colors that will reflect everywhere, they will look wrong because, or it's going to be hard for you to paint them because basically the environment in which you're painting your object, all of these is reflected on it, but not only metal, anything really. Like, you know, like right now I have like this, I like to give this example because I got the remote on me, but you see there's a bit of a red light, pink light here. Change my color, I got a color right here, right? Like this is my environment. If you don't put a blue, pink background on me, all these colors on my skin would look different at the end of the day. So yes, it's super important to put things in their background. I'm glad that you started thinking to understand. Thanks, Shane. Saying great job. Jeep, it's awesome. I wish I could do something like that in 15 minutes. You're welcome. And you know what? This is closer than you think of anyone that's watching this right now that thinks they cannot do this. It's just a question of having the right workflow. And not to preach my own church, but I will. Both the DPA and the Illustration for Imagination program have the classes to teach you a good workflow to get you there faster. This is all the time that I had today for this live, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Usually I spend a little bit more time, but today I got other stuff that I need to do. So hopefully you learn a thing or two. I'll be back next week. What are we doing next week? Let me go check. What are we doing next week? The prompt for next Wednesday is in the air pose. So that's great for everybody that likes to paint some characters or anatomy or things like that. I'll be doing quick sketches, I think. I'm not going to go into colors maybe in this one, and do black and white sketches to show you guys how I create my characters. So that's going to be next Wednesday, same time. And I'm working on some exciting stuff that I want to implement maybe next month. I'll give you more news about this in the newsletter. If you want to be part of the newsletter, you simply have to download any of my free brushes. It's going to get you on the newsletter. And if you like to receive my emails, good. And if you don't, just unsubscribe. You'll get free brushes no matter what. So that's great. And so, yeah, have a great day, guys, wherever you are in the world. Enjoy your daily 5. I'll talk to you soon. Ciao, guys.